Hello, listeners. Welcome to the ScreenBugs. I'm Justin Hughes.
And I'm Kai Williams.
And this is the podcast where we review films of all kinds, all sorts of genres, times, directors, all sorts of things. But there's one thing they all have in common. What's that, Kai? Can you tell us?
I can't know. What is it?
I'll tell you.
Please do.
Every single film we review has got a bug or bugs in it somewhere.
Oh, this week was my pick. I have picked I'll get it right, the 1954 horror classic Them, directed by Gordon Douglas. And spoiler warning for this film, even though you've had quite a while to watch it.
You've had like 70 years to watch it.
Yeah. Sadly, our other host, Ben Smith, is still in his cocoon.
So this is probably, like, for someone who has a film review podcast, probably a bit of a bad thing to say, but no, it's not that bad. It's an old film. This is probably the oldest feature film I've ever watched.
Ever?
I don't think I've ever watched a feature film, like short films maybe, feature film from before the 50s, never seen one.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
Oh my God, I don't know, Justin, I don't know what to say. That's bad.
And we'll talk
Have you
about
not
this
seen
more.
any silent films, nothing like that?
Not a feature length one.
No?
No. Well, we'll talk about this more, but there's a whole thing. I struggle to enjoy really old films, and there's a bunch of reasons why that I'm gonna get into during this episode.
Oh, this is going to be very interesting because to start off, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, and I would just like to start off. What a title!
Yeah.
The film is such a good title.
Iconic. There's not many of them short but catchy titles that aren't taken these days.
There's no indication of what's to come. Obviously, this is spoiled by the poster.
Yeah.
Having a giant ant on it. But if you hadn't seen the poster, you don't know what's going to come.
Yeah.
It's a very good. It's very ominous.
Them can be anything.
Very foreboding, which is good because like the first probably like 20 minutes or so is really just good tension building. And I would like to start with the great music. I don't know if you noticed that the music that starts us off with the credits, because obviously it's an older film, so the credits play first. So there's a great soundtrack. There's a really good. You do music, Justin. There's a good indication of tone. I think it's good. It's
very good, and the music isn't as overbearing and constant as it is in a lot of new films as well. It knows when to play its role, which I like about this film. Also, the little fake out, like obviously in this film the title is in colour, but the film isn't in colour. Which is interesting.
Oh my God! Yeah, I didn't notice that. Obviously, color versions of the film do exist now. You can watch the film recolored, but that's what? How?
Originally, the whole film was meant to be in colour.
Okay,
but it was a change last minute. Now, some people say it was some other like budget reasons, but from what I can tell, something went wrong. Literal days before it was meant to go into production, where something went wrong and it was last minute switched to black and white. But this was going to be a colour film originally.
That's great, and that makes sense because it's from 1954 when they did in fact have quite a few coloured films. But in my mind, I just thought it was in black and white because it's an old film.
And that's. But
no, they could.
And apparently, all these massive, obviously, models they've made of these, ants that you see throughout the film, obviously they are coloured. They are purple things, and it was going to be a colour film, but it wasn't last minute.
Honestly, I think the black and white aids the film like quite a lot.
It definitely works. It makes the dance scarier, I think.
It gives it a very nice kind of noir mystery feel to it. Because that's how the film starts. We're in the desert. We've got the plane and the cars, and then we've got the child walking through the desert, which is like I think a crazy way to start.
Yeah, it did confuse me because it's already like for me, for example, I don't watch a lot of old films, so I'm already a little bit out of my element, trying to like make sure I can differentiate the characters and work what I'm looking at, where I am, what the tone is, and then I'm just like, oh, desert, weird child. I don't know what's going on. It's only a moment, but
it's a very mysterious kind of start.
But yeah, it's mysterious. I like that about it.
I mean, you've had that, and then you've got the wrecked caravan, which is again very ominous. There's the footprints in the sand, which is really cool, and they do the nice little they've been stealing sugar. Look, there's sugar. It's like, okay, a nice little indication of ants. Oh, odd one. Obviously, I know ants like sugar, but I like the idea of these giant fucking ants trying to steal like tiny little sugar
That's
cubes.
another thing. This film is you just learn a lot about ants. watching
Oh
this
my
film.
God, yeah, and we'll talk about that later. There's like a fucking educational
There's like
bit later
a
on.
science lesson right in the middle of the film.
It's no, it does it. I mean, yeah, this first scene, first kind of couple scenes are great, and then they hear the sound, that very not iconic sound, but very noticeable kind of sound.
The weird ant sound, which again I think is really good because you hear the sound way before you see the ants for the first time.
Yeah, there's like a good 15 minutes between the two. Like the sound is, and you don't hear that sound and go, oh, it's ants.
That's
Because
it.
That's.
But then once you see the ants and then that connection is made, that sound equals the ants. It's used in a different way to create tension to say, okay, here come the ants for the rest of the film. And let me tell you,
I was going to say, do you have a little interesting piece of trivia?
That sound.
Yep.
Well, they've not gone and given some ants a microphone.
Have they not? I thought
as you might have thought they had done.
Yeah.
It's actually a recorded chorus of, they're called bird-voiced tree frogs. So they're frogs. It's a sound of a group of frogs making the ants. But the frogs are called bird-voiced tree frogs because they sound like birds, but they're frogs.
So there's bird-voiced tree frogs that voice ants. That's crazy. That's really interesting. That's a nice...
there's scientific name for it, but I can't pronounce, like Hyla avivoca, something like that. But yeah, that's what it is. It's bird... Frogs that sound like birds were used for ants. And apparently that sound was used in a lot of... other similar style horror films over the decades after, I believe. Well,
I'm guessing them kind of made it iconic.
Yeah,
that sound, because I mean it's a good sound. It's quite it's not harrowing, but it's very ominous, isn't it?
It's very strange. It feels very alien.
But then there's the bit where they hear the sound and the guy's like, he goes, "Nah, it must have been the wind." Are you a moron? Like that's
classic,
not. I don't know what fucking wind you guys have got down in New Mexico, but that's not.
I wonder how common there must have been the wind.
That's what
phrase
I mean,
was at the time.
Yeah, for it to.
It's like that's an early go of it.
What must have been the wind?
Must have been the wind.
I mean, it's
maybe when the atomic bomb goes off.
Oh, I'm excited to talk about that as well later. But hang on, I want to talk about. I'm gonna call it. I think my favorite scene in the film this early on is the. So they go to the shop. Great suspense built. And it's the walls caved in, and they find the dead guy, and he's like, and our main police officer, whose name is it Ben? I want to say I'm gonna say our main. Hang on. It is Ben, Sergeant Ben Peterson.
Yes.
Yep. There we go. So Ben's like, okay, you stay here to his friend, and I'm gonna fuck off. And you have that really good scene where he's in the shop and it's very almost, and you hear the sound again, and he turns off the lights and he pulls his gun, thinking someone's going to come in, doesn't he? He turns off all the lights and he really slowly walks out as this sound gets louder and louder and louder and louder, and he walks outside and you hear him scream and you hear gunshots and you keep hearing, and that's it. I think that's fantastic.
Again, a very, very slow reveal, and for quite a short
film. It's not even a reveal.
I mean, they very slowly introduce the ants. You don't get a big.
I mean, as I said, this film is about an hour and a half, and the ants come in probably about half an hour in, so you're already a good chunk through by the time the ants. Maybe even longer.
Maybe it's good they didn't call it, put ants in a title, because otherwise you'd be very disappointed with the first time.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think the title works so well, because you don't...
Because you don't know what it is for a while.
No.
Well, as long as you've not seen the poster.
That's what I mean. If you know about the film, you know it's ants, but if you don't, and especially obviously if you watched it at the time, it's like, there's the footprints. This guy had acid in him when he died.
Yeah.
The girl smells the acid. She starts going, them. And it's really good at building kind of tension and building this mystery. It's almost not a horror film and kind of a thriller at this point, which is, really good. But then there's one bit in the shop. When we're talking about sugar a bit more. Ben, our main character, goes, look, ants. And there's a bunch of ants crawling on sugar. He just fucking sticks his finger in this disgusting sugary ant pile and goes, yeah, it's like
delicious.
Why would you do that? Like,
yeah,
like the police haircut's horrible, and it's the same in the trailer. When they're in the caravan trailer, and he's like, there's blood on this rag, and he starts picking it up and fondling it. It's like you're leaving your fingerprints everywhere.
Well, it took me probably the first half of the film to get properly into the film, and another of the things that I struggle with old films, and it's not all old films.
Okay, go on.
But there are certain consistent things with a lot of old films and TV shows. Like one of them, for example, which this film isn't really do that much, it's not as bad, is you'd see a lot of old TV shows and a lot of old films have a lot more mid and wide shots, obviously less clear audio and things, obviously half the time. This film is a bit better for that. And it's also things like a lot of these characters in the main cast, it's all in black and white, they all dress somewhat similarly in some ways.
Yeah, they do get a bit muddled, don't they?
It gets a bit muddled, and also just, there's a thing with older films and TV shows where acting, let me word this better.
Go on.
Earlier on in, like, you know, film culture and film production, I think it's more sort of based on plays and theatre. So acting in older films and TV shows is less natural and more theatrical, which I, as a viewer, struggle with.
I just want to highlight in that this film's from the 50s. Film has been around for a good while. Like a good 30 years.
Yeah, I just mean like older films in general.
Is the black and white confusing you in the time this film came out? Because I thought this film was older than it is because of the black and white, but it's 50s, so this was...
Yeah, it's not like one of the first films or anything. I just mean in older films in general, acting tends to be more theatrical than natural, which I struggle with as a viewer.
I understand. I think the acting in this film is really good, to be fair.
There's some really good standout stuff. There's some really good standout stuff, but it feels more like watching a play.
Really? That's interesting. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I disagree, but I understand where you're coming from.
It's like, for example, I love Doctor Who. But I struggle with classic Doctor Who because it feels more like a play. It doesn't feel like a
film. The same kind of techniques you'd expect with the camera.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. It's one of them. There's camera work is not the word's not creative. It still is creative. It's obviously it's not as modern.
Yeah, I mean, we have it's a well-made film, and that's not to take away from it. That's more just why I struggle to get into it super fast, because I'm not quite connecting with the characters right off the bat. Yeah. But that's just comes from me having not watched much of this.
I mean, I will say the main characters are Ben Peterson and the FBI agent, so Robert Graham.
Yeah, they've not got super distinct personalities. For example, I was saying like Dr. Harold Medford, he's got more of a distinct personality. Great. So I can, when he's on screen, I'm already more connected.
I like him. His introduction is that classic introduction of it's like bumbling scientist.
Yeah, and like silly British guy.
No, but it's bumbling scientist and his hot assistant. And it's like Tarzan. You know, it's like.
But immediately, because they stand out more, I could like buy into it so much quicker. And I think even though he's playing more of an exaggerated character, it actually helps him feel more natural, because if that kind of person with that kind of personality was in the real world, it's close to what he would be like, whereas with the main characters are more like da 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 da, so it's more more theatrical.
The Doctor is our exposition character. Yeah. He's the one who tells us what's happening, why it's happening. I mean, you know, I like the go straight for what's with the atomic bombs, because I mean the film has a very big, obviously it's following World War II, so there's a very big anti-nuke message which we can talk about.
Yeah, and it's very, especially like the very last lines of the film, which we'll get to obviously.
Fantastic line, but even so, because it's all fitting with the atomic bomb, video game Fallout 3 directly references this film.
I did see about that, with one of the missions.
With the side quest, those.
Yes.
Because obviously Fallout is very centered around nuclear apocalypse. So, and it's giant ants. And it was it's a nice Easter egg because it's a very similar kind of ish plot. But that's my little tidbit that I like. Obviously the scientist is great. He comes in, he tells them what's going on. And then he's like, he gets his little thing and he mixes it. And you smell the acid, child. Smell it. That's when we get a name drop, don't we? Whoa, steady on.
Ooh,
whoa.
Sorry. That's what happens when you smoke 26 cigarettes right before recording. Also, I'd want to say as well, because we were a bit past this now, but I didn't realize how old the Wilhelm scream was.
Yes. Oh.
It's older than I thought. I knew it was old.
It's very old. It comes up 3 times in this film.
I know, and every time it's...
It does. It happened. I went, oh, it's the Wilhelm scream. And then it kept happening.
Like, they didn't have to use it, like... I know it wasn't as iconic then as it maybe is nowadays. Although it still was.
Back then it's this wasn't the first example.
I mean, it was a joke. Yeah, but that's it. But they didn't have to use it like so many times.
Three times. I've never heard it used so much in a film, and I loved it. It was great. Oh yeah, and then we've got the scientist and his daughter Pat, who I think is a great character. She is. I have in my notes, and I will get back to it later. I've got a competent girl boss. Yeah. She's a great character, and we'll talk about her in a bit. Because now we're going to talk about they go into the desert, and there's a sandstorm because they're doing the tracks at this point, and I love their goggles.
Yes,
they're bug-like goggles they've got on.
I don't know where I have an over this, but I loved how the sort of wind and fog looked and sounded as well.
It looks great
to the tension quite well
because it obscures things, doesn't it? It really lets you not know what you're going to see. Just before that, I've got something I noticed. Like, is she all right? Her waist is like so smushed in by a corset or something. I can't know if she breathes. Like she gets introduced, she's honestly like such a thin waist, and I know that's more of how it was by then. But Jesus Christ,
maybe she was an ant.
Do you think that your big fan theory?
That's my big theory.
That's true. If you spell Pat backwards, you get ant.
That is true.
That's so true.
Oh my God!
Don't fact check that, listeners. Don't fact check at all. But yeah, so. We're in the desert now, and they're really drawing out at this point. We're a good half an hour, 20 minutes in, and we still haven't seen the ants. We've seen their footprints, we've heard them, and we've seen what they can do. Because they talk about the guy in the shop, and they're like, yeah, he was like lacerated, broken bones, he's filled with acid. It's a horrible way to go. Like that's a really poor guy. And then we see it. We see.
Exciting.
And oh my God, honestly, it's fantastic.
I love the design of the ants.
The puppets are great.
That's it.
Like you kind of just see the head, their feelers coming up, and
it can't be cheap to make those massive models, and we see a few of them.
We see loads, and we see a lot of them go up in flames later on in the film.
Destroyed. So much burning of them as well, more than I expected going in. But it's something about the wind and the fog and like the sound and the first big, and that's when films start to really win me over.
That's when the kind of mystery is sold, and it's like this is when this is when the film gets really good now. Like the ants they look great. Like that's a good puppet.
Yeah, no, they look brilliant. Obviously, it works very well with it being, like we were saying before, with it ended up being a black and white film. I think it really adds to the look of the ants as well and makes them more intimidating.
I mean, I think it gives the film the black and white especially gives it a really classic feel to it, like proper Universal monster feeling, like with like Dracula, and it feels like it felt very Creature of the Black Lagoon, which is a film I really like as well, which might have bugs in it, and I hope it does. Okay. The puppets are great, and I wrote in my notes slight overkill, and I can't remember what was referring to. What did they do to the ant? Oh yeah. Ben, he absolutely. They start shooting it with their revolver, and he gets out his Tommy gun.
For the antennas!
Yeah, and he gets his Tommy gun and just absolutely pulverizes.
Well, where did he get that from? Why did he just have that?
His police car.
Oh wow.
The armed police. It's America in the 50s, man. They had whatever they want in their car.
Also, I also think just the choice of ants is a very good choice, because obviously they are creatures that travel in huge groups, are known for being very strong for their size, and they're very coordinated as well. That's
what I mean. I think the film really works because ants are smart.
Yeah.
We're lucky that they're small, and they kind of place that. Like the film wouldn't be. It'd be interesting, but it wouldn't be as interesting if they were worms.
Yeah.
Would it? Actually, that might be. I mean, Dune. Dune, Tremors. Maybe.
I've not seen Dune.
I've not either, but
has it got bugs in it?
I've not seen it. Just as I researched our homework.
Fantastic choice.
They work really well.
And then he just sort of, after this point, is very much locked in on let's learn everything we can about ants.
It kind of takes a documentary, doesn't it?
I know. But I was very intrigued
because they at this point they learn about the ants, and they learn, about what they do, and then they go looking for the nests, and we have the fantastic exchange over the plane radios, which I thought was great. You know, the scientists, Medford's trying to talk, and Ben's just going, say over. What? You have to say over. What? Over. And it's like, why? And he just goes, it's a rule, you got to say it. And they, like, he can still hear them in the other plane. And it's just such a good little interaction because it's a bit silly.
Yeah. I want to say as well, because what surprised me in the little science, I didn't realise how long Queen ants live.
How long do they live?
Years. Like ages.
Years.
Like, how long do...
he's getting the Goog up.
Queen ants live. Like, up to 30 years.
30 years?
For an ant. That is mad.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why it's kind of scary as a antagonist,
It's too long. It's just too long to live if you're a little thing like, what are you going to do in 30 years? You can't write a book if you're an ant.
You could learn in 30 years.
No, it's not got thumbs, have they? How's it going to hold a pen?
How are you going to hold a pen? They type on the keyboard. You know, click, waddle, 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 waddle. Click, waddle, 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 waddle.
They've not got the strength. They'd have to like build some kind of like mechanism.
Like an ant computer.
Although if any insect's going to build a computer, it's an ant, isn't it?
Well, I could have an ant could dictate to me. Couldn't it?
How's
it could
it
be
gonna
like,
do that?
well, it could go waddle, waddle, waddle. And I go, oh, that one.
Right, like a
goes
Ouija board style.
Yeah, with an ant.
So a bunch of ants with a Ouija board, like...
This is our million pound idea. Ants on a Ouija board.
No one nick that, please.
Right, next week in the studio, I'm bringing ants in, and then we're gonna have to deal with that.
No, we should have brought an ant guest in.
Oh my, yeah. After last week's fantastic guest. Yeah, there's some great horror aspects after when we see the ants, because we have that one where it comes out of the nest holding the rib cage. And he like throws it, doesn't he? And we see a bunch of like human skulls and bones. And it's a good horror. Like, it's like, oh shit, these guys aren't.
Insects are freaky.
Insects are freaky, especially when they talk about the stinger with the acid. That's not a nice way to go. I don't like the cast.
They are disgusting. It's like, it brings us back to when we watched
It's got The Fly.
The Fly, yeah. Just the way insects do things are just disgusting, and if you put it on our scale, it's immediate horror.
Oh yeah, anything on taking it big and taking it small, making it big is good horror. Like,
I think as well, just in general, the idea. I really just like the concept of ants mutated by the effects of an atomic bomb.
I mean, it's we've had it before. You know, Godzilla was the same, so it's a nice kind of thing, and we will talk about that later, especially with the end. There's a great end. But yeah, and then after we see the ants, they go into the hole. They go into the ant's nest, and that's just what I've written down: insect girl boss, which is referring to Pat, because she's a very nicely competent character.
Yeah,
because the two guys, he's got his flamethrower and he's got his gun, and she's like, "I'm coming in too." Like, no, you're not. It's no place for a woman.
No place for a woman.
Yeah, and she's like, no, fuck you. I know what I'm talking about. I'm coming in with you, and she does, and it's great. And she's a great character, I think.
Yeah, it's for the 50s as well, you know.
I will. That is true for the 50s. Yeah. She's a nicely competent character. And then they're walking through, and we see the dead ants. It's like, a bit harrowing. And then she's like looking at the walls, and she's like, oh, it's held together with ant spit. And then Ben just goes, man, spit's all that's holding me together. It's like, bro, you're a freak. Maybe the real freak is you, pal.
Oh.
What was that? Really long.
I'm just thinking about ants.
Thinking about ants.
Yeah, that's it. Ants to make me uncomfy, you know what I mean?
Do you not like ants?
I don't like insects.
At all?
I understand why they're here, but it's just like...
I don't like spiders.
Even butterflies, like, you look pretty, but don't come near me.
No, butterflies are horrible up close. Have you not seen an up-close butterfly? Please Google close up on a butterfly. They are horrifying.
Butterfly.
I'm glad it's not butterflies in this film because they're scarier.
Are they? Why does it look like that?
Yeah, not nice, are they? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's some great expressions there. I wish you could see. I've never seen. He's grimacing like proper scrunch in his face.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Why have you got so much leg as well?
I don't know.
Put them legs away.
Put them. Whoa.
So it's not the 50s, is it?
But yeah, I mean, it's great. Great sequence going through the nest. Great score. We've got a nice build-in score as well. And as well, there's something I want to talk about, the Queen's chamber. When they see the eggs, I think this film was a really big inspiration for Alien because it felt really similar.
I actually saw, because when I was doing a bit of research after watching the film, I saw there was like someone did like a side by side, and there are so many shots and moments in this film that are like identical to like Aliens. So Aliens more than heavily inspired.
Because I was watching this scene and it's like the panning of the eggs with the flashlight. I was like, this feels like Alien. This is like I really like that. And obviously, you know, hopefully Alien took inspiration from this film, because this is a classic. And this was a film I've always wanted to watch.
I reckon this film took inspiration from Alien, actually.
Do you think? Do you think there's a nice paradox going on? But no, it's a great scene. Then you and it revealed, and then there's the big like pin drop moment. It was that the queens have flown off.
Oh.
And I don't like bugs with wings, like butterflies, moths, dragonflies, but any like bug that shouldn't have wings that has wings are horrible.
And in fact, I'm pretty sure ants only have wings temporarily as well.
Yeah, I mean, they talk about this in the film.
Yeah.
We get a nice little documentary later on, but yeah, it just reveals that they fly out. It's horrible.
And insects as well. They produce like just too much offspring as well, and they just Well,
yeah, it was talking about that the queens just keep multiplying until they. That's the scary part about the film. It's the really underlying horror of we don't actually see the ants for a lot of the film.
Yeah.
We hear about them, don't we? And we say, people have spotted this UFO flying, this place has been broken into. And it's a nice horror because it's like, yeah, this is happening, but we don't know where.
That's it. Obviously, with insects in general, even when they're massive, like you're here, it's scaled up, but like they say, obviously they can like burrow underground really far and they multiply in huge numbers really fast, and that even like by the end of the film, obviously they might think they've succeeded, but you don't really know.
Well, that's what I mean. Like that's what's nice about it, because like 50 ants aren't by themselves. You're right, 50 ants, innit? 50 big ants. Shit's getting real, that's where that's where it ramps up.
50 ants turns into a lot more ants quick.
That's what I mean. It's
they live for too long. Disgusting.
And then, so after this happens, we get to the best part of the film. Our little documentary showed by the doctor. He just starts off, here are ants at war. And it's just ants beating the fuck out of each other.
I think that's one of my favourite parts of the film, to be honest.
I think it's a great bit, because it kind of tells the audience what we're dealing with. Like, it's showing ants, like, eating each other and stuff like that. And it's just the mental image of, okay, this is what they're like when they're small. What are they like when they're massive?
Yeah, and again, this film has a lot of. I wasn't expecting this. I knew it had something to do with bugs, obviously, because this is what this podcast is. But I knew nothing about the film going in, and then just so many parts in this film was like, I did not know that about ants.
Yeah,
I did not know the scale differences between different kinds of ants.
No, because there's that giant ant and those
huge
tiny
ants.
ones.
If I saw one of them, it would ruin my year.
I mean, we're bigger than them, so it's okay.
Yeah, but still, insects have they win the mental game.
They're fucking with you. You see an ant.
They've got barely any thoughts. They're basically organic computers. They're messing me up for days.
But no, the documentary is a really good bit. It's just ants beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah,
and we know about it, and then we get a nice reveal that some ants were spotted in Brownsville. Fantastic name for a place. Might add, Brownsville.
Yeah.
I've got that just written down. I've just got written down the word Brownsville.
Is that a real place or is it made up?
Oh, should we search up Brownsville?
Yeah, let's find out.
Can you imagine if you lived in Brownsville, man? I wouldn't.
I'd rather live in Stewietville. Little Family Guy joke for our Family Guy enjoys.
I said Brown.
I said Brownsville.
No, Brownsville.
Brownsville. Little, wait.
Go on.
Little, I'd rather live in Swansonville. Little joke for our Family Guy enjoys. Cleveland Brown.
I can't. Shut up, man. Yeah, Brownsville is a neighborhood in New York. Real place. Real place.
That's good.
Stewietville.
I thought you said Brian. I don't remember the name of the village.
Oh, God. Okay, well.
I should have started with the Swansonville. That's what I should have started.
Yeah, that would have been your strongest.
Cleveland Brown in this.
I know, I understand. And now our viewers do as well. Any avid Family Guy enjoyers out there.
Sorry, we won't be doing a Family Guy episode. I do apologise. There's no bugs.
No, this is 1954's Them.
Yeah. Half an hour in.
Half an hour in. Awesome. Okay, so we then get to a character I feel really bad for. The guy that gets locked up in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
I felt
With the sick dressing gown as well. Really
so bad for that guy. He is like, no one believes me. No one wants to talk to me. And then they talk to him and they're like, we believe you. Yeah. And he's like, oh, this is great. This is great. And then he talks to the doctor and he just straight up says, you're wise to keep him locked up. Make sure he has no visitors. It's like, what the fuck? That's horrible. I felt really bad for that guy.
But no, that was one of the most stand-up performances for me as well, where it's more of a clearly unique character with more of a distinct personality as well. That's one of the parts that really got my attention.
Yeah, he was good. There was a lot of good kind of side characters as well. Like you've got the general and the crazy guy, and then you've got that woman.
The one who like sings about making the sergeant as well.
He what?
The one who's like
Linda Leandro.
Yeah, make me a sergeant and in charge of the booze.
Oh, the drunk guy.
Yeah.
Oh, the drunk guy. He was good.
One of the best characters.
Are you here to draft me? No. He was good. He was absolutely off.
There are laws, you know.
He was good. Yeah, he started singing.
Make me a sergeant, and then that guy when they leave, he starts singing. Make me a sergeant in charge of the booze, and then the guy next to him just turns around and goes, "My nerves."
Oh yeah, you're messing with my nerves. It's like.
I don't know why that stuck in my head so vividly.
It's the 50s, guys. It's the 50s. As you know, we're allowed. It was good because then we get a really good bit where they get the SOS message from the boat. That's cool because they get the SOS message and then it cuts to the boat and this guy's like bleeding and he's doing the message and we see in the background.
Yes, yes.
And we hear our second Wilhelm.
That was
scream.
horrifying.
We hear our second Wilhelm scream.
I know. That's the first one I noticed.
Really, that's the second one I noticed.
Oh, I noticed from after, and I noticed that one.
There's three. But yeah, that was a cool scene because it just cuts to it. And it's like, oh shit. And then you think, how did the ants get in the water?
Yeah, that's weird. That.
But no, because it's crazy because you can, at this point, because I didn't realize like there's a really big time scale in this film. Like good months pass. Like at one point they say it's been 5 months. Since something, so like a lot of time passes in this film, which is they never talk about, which is really interesting because as soon as they say that, you go, oh, shit, how bad is this?
That seems quite horrifying as well because he kind of like knows he's doomed, but it's just the desperation that he doesn't really like
the guy on the
move
boat.
On the boat, yeah. He doesn't really move or flinch, and he knows what's happening. He's just like
he sends the SOS, and then they blow up the boat.
Yeah. Then they had to that beautiful performance. Then you're like, yeah, stick a Wilhelm scream on that.
Do you know what would round this off? Yeah. This noise.
Yay!
For those listening, Justin just got up and leapt. He did a backflip in excitement.
Yeah, I did. My uncle. God,
there's so much to talk about because like we've got the ants on the boat. That's a great scene, and then it goes to the sugar theft on the train. And there's that great line where why would someone steal sugar from me? He's got a sweet tooth. He stole like metric ton of sugar from this. I like that the ants keep stealing sugar.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like a thing like, oh, what do ants do? Oh, they like sugar. All right, we'll make them do that.
So they're sugar thieves and they like to put acid in people and that's basically what else do ants do?
That's what I do. That's my hobby, that. Yeah. Okay, I think we've talked a lot about this. I think we need to get to the kind of like very interesting part of the film where they need to announce the kind of national emergency.
Yes,
of all this because they talk about the boat sinking, and they say, "What of the crew of the other boat that sunk it?" And it's like, well, they're on the water. They're not going to talk to anyone until this is over. And it's like a really like, oh shit, they are trying to keep this under wraps, and like they don't want to freak out the public and stuff like that. That's why they keep the guy in the mental home.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want he's right, but he doesn't. They don't want him to know that. I hope he got freed after the events of the film.
He probably hasn't.
He's probably still there to this day. He's probably like
still there.
80, 90.
I hope the other guy's been made the sergeant in charge of the booze. That's what I'm hoping for.
Sergeant Boozer reporting for duty.
Sergeant Boozer.
I love lovely little accent.
It's not American.
Because then we get that really kind of harrowing news report from the general where he says about what's going on. But he's like sugarcoat it. He's like, there could be thousands. You can't go outside. They will fucking kill you. They'll rip you apart. Because we learn about that. We learn about that woman's husband because their boys are missing. He got his arm ripped off, and they just describe it in like really like horrible detail. Like
the whole thing of going from not keeping it super under wraps to martial law as a basically an immediate shift is kind of.
It's what had to be done. I think, considering there's just there could be giant ants anywhere in New York City is really interesting.
That sounds like a really great Spider-Man film. And it's in New York City. Spider-Man is our only hope.
Spider-Man versus them. Who's winning?
Oh yeah, that's good. And we've already got Ant-Man actually.
Oh, that's true. Why didn't they just call it Ant-Man?
Yes,
that would have sorted it. Honestly, I reckon they just should have made one of those really big ant traps. You know that you can.
What's an ant trap?
You get one. They
It's like sticky.
No, it's like a little powdery thing. You put it down, and the ant walks in. They get powder on them, and it just kills them.
Oh, that's
They should have just done that.
That's really
just a
nasty.
really big one in the middle of New York City. That's really nasty.
We're gonna put powder on New York City.
Who's this voice coming out to play?
I don't know.
I don't.
Got no idea.
But yeah, so then we go to the sewers.
Yes.
For a very interesting part of the film. I think, right, I would have done things a bit differently in this situation because they talk about the sewers and they're like, all right, we're going to torch the sewers and we're going to burn them out. And they're like, well, yeah, but what if the kids are alive? I don't give a fuck. What if they are? Like, there could be thousands of these ants and they could kill all of New York City. I do not give a fuck about 2 kids who were playing with a bloody plane with their dad who's rest his
soul.
soul.
A little pet peeve I had.
Oh, go on, let's hear it.
So when they're going to the sewers, obviously they're driving. What's the name of the big sort of empty thing outside that like lead to the sewers?
I don't know.
The big like.
I know the yeah, I know what you mean. The big ramp.
Yeah, so the rampy sort of ditch.
Yeah.
Almost like an empty lake.
The half pipe, yeah.
So when they're driving through that, there's a whole part where you're seeing like water splashing off the sides because they're going through this mucky water.
Yeah.
When about 5 feet to the right of the car, just dry land. And they're just going straight through all the muck and dirt, getting all the splashes.
They're US Army, man. They got to get nitty gritty.
But when they're nice and clean is right there, why mess up your car, get all dirty?
Are you not a fan of unnecessary, like, getting wet?
No, it wasn't even that. It bothered me that you're in a car and you're aiming for the water.
Well, yeah, because that's where you get the big splash. And then you drive and you get splashes and you go, yeah.
It just bothered me, and it's bothered me more than most of the murder in
You're
this
getting
film.
visibly angry at
No,
this.
it really bothered me. It really upset me. Then they got out of their car and they definitely got their boots all
Do you reckon
wet.
their sockies got wet?
Absolutely.
Does that upset you?
Like, if I'm out there to try and fight some giant ants, I want to feel good, like, nice and dry, nice and everything's done, shirt, the buttons all up, but now I've got wet shoes,
Wet sockies, perhaps.
and dirty like sewer water. When you could have very easily just parked the car outside of the mud.
That's true. There could be poo-poo in their socks.
There could be poo in their socks when.
That's the big takeaway.
All you have
That's
to do
the big
is just
takeaway of this film.
all this, and just for the listeners, I'm motioning, getting my hands
Like a
around the
steering
driving
wheel,
wheel, and just a little bit just a touch to the right.
So there's no socks, poopy socks.
And that's all it would have took. So I'm just saying, fucking, for that reason, 0 legs for this film.
He's visibly red, steam coming out of his ears. All right, so then we're in the sewers now.
Yeah.
And once again, fantastic puppets. I really like the puppets in this.
They look their best in those final scenes.
Genuinely look really good. And this kind of like last act per se, really surprising stuff going on. So obviously Ben finds the kids. He saves them from the ants, and then he dies. He gets killed, and that's obviously third Wilhelm scream comes in. But I genuinely was not expecting what I would say is our protagonist. He dies. He sacrifices himself.
And did he not have it coming for making the stupid decision of trying to save the kids?
That's what I mean. They should have torched those fuckers 100%. Yeah. Those kids should have been melted to
get rid of them.
But I was really surprised because he gets munched on and he dies.
Ugh.
And then the FBI agent comes, looks at his body, and just carries on. They really don't linger on it, which I was genuinely quite surprised about, and I do respect them for that, because it's an actually unpredictable and quite shocking moment that he saves the kids and then he dies, because he's the
I'm all good, yeah.
He's the main character, which is good. And then we've got the all the soldiers rushing.
But I think a threat as huge as this, and even though it's ant looks a bit silly, the threat realistically, the threat is huge. I think you kind of needed, if you're going to do a thing where you do end up saving the day, if you're going to do a thing where you do save children, you've got to pay a price for it to hold the stakes, you know?
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. The stakes are there, and the ants are a real threat. I mean, we've already heard about them killing people, and we've seen what they're kind of capable of. But for them to kill one of the, if not the main character, is a very big play, and it's a good... It kind of fuels you to want them dead even more. You know, you kind of really go against them, which is nice. And then the army rushes in to the sewers with their flamethrowers, and that's when we get to see some great puppets.
And realize just how easy it was the whole time to kill them with a bit of fire. And there's one shot around this time where... And it's a shot, there's been plenty of similar shots over the years since, but when the silhouette of the ant is coming down the hallway...
Yeah, because the wall breaks in or something.
Something like that. But yeah, we see the ant silhouette as it approaches, and it looks massive on the wall.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice
That's
shot.
what I mean. As I said, the practical stuff done in the film are great. The ants look great.
Well
their nests look good. The eggs look good. The ants being set on fire look great, because
really
they fucking torched those things.
And again, in black and white, it looks so almost like demonic. It looks horrifying.
I don't know. Fire in black and white looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks
I think when you have fire in black and white, because you know what fire is, and it's just
in a black and white film as well, especially in a darker scene. But nothing's so bright that it's completely white in a black and white film usually. Yeah. But fire is. So it's suddenly like the brightest thing you've seen in this film, and it's like crazy.
Yeah, and it's out of control. It's a light in this ant, you know, which
it looks amazing.
He had it coming. But yeah, I can't believe he died, and we get our third Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
and then they find the three queens.
That was just to look at them when you first see them. It looks just very disturbing,
alien, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
very freaky.
That scene was really freaky to me, and it's the way they kind of
they don't move.
They don't move. They look at them, and they're all sat there with their guns and flamethrowers just on the ants looking, and they're just looking at each other for a little bit.
Oh, it's so creepy.
And it's not
I'm
until
looking at a picture now, it's horrifying.
It's not until the doctor comes in and he's like, "Yeah, you have to do this," and then they light up, and it's a really kind of like, not that you feel bad for the ants, but they're very helpless. Considering they've been so threatening throughout the whole film, suddenly they're really helpless. And they're just sitting there, and they're kind of waiting.
And the fact that in that scene as well, most of the time you're looking up at the ants, so they're really huge. At this point, you're looking down at them.
Yeah, they look smaller, don't they? And then they torch.
And they just sort of
they torch them. They light those fuckers up with a flamethrower.
And then we get obviously the scientists' final little mini monologue.
So good, because the film just ends on that note. It's literally like you have to think, you go, oh shit. You know,
they could have easily as well made that 10 times longer, but it's so to the point, it's just like, this is the world we're in now because of this thing, and we do not know what else
we don't know what. I mean, that's what it was like, because this was,
no one knew the effects of doing something like that.
No one knew the long-lasting effects of nuclear detonation, because obviously it wasn't that long after the first one.
Well, what we know is we get a sick film called Oppenheimer out of it.
Yeah, and some great video games.
So a big win,
Fallout,
really. Big win.
Big win. It's justified. There should have been big ants in Oppenheimer.
It should have been. Now I am become Ant, the killer of children. I don't know.
I appreciate the attempt at improvisation.
It was off the dome. I've not slept much.
But no, it's a fantastic way to end the film, and I think because now we've hit the end of the film, very nice anti-nuke message.
Yeah.
As well, it doesn't even try. It's like, yeah, this is bad, and there might be more bad things coming from this. Do you think they're setting up a sequel?
Well, we've been waiting a bit, but I'm
hoping.
Pedro Pascal's leading that shit.
Pedro Pascal is the ants.
General Taker as the Queen Ant.
I hope
Gen Z them.
And we're now at that point in the show where we rate it and we give it legs. So Justin, tell me about what you thought.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Because you don't like old.
Because it's not my kind of film. But for example, the last time I liked the film, but it had those things I didn't like.
Yeah.
This one, it's not that there are things I don't like. It's not my kind of film. But for what if I take it for what it is and when it came from, it is fantastic. It's really good. I want to say, separating my personal preferences and just taking it objectively as a film, I want to say, I don't know, like, let's say...
The suspense is killing me.
I'm going to say like a nice rounded 80.
Nice rounded 80. Okay, I respect. I mean, this film was on my list for a very long time. I love the poster.
Yes.
It's a very iconic poster. So I was very glad to watch this. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great horror, great thriller. The effects are fantastic. The puppets are great. And it's a very nice story. The build-up, I think just the tension is built so well. So I really enjoyed this film. I'm going to give this, so what did you give, an 80? I'm going to hit 90.
90.
I really enjoyed this film.
Is that your exact same rating as a Minecraft movie?
Yes, they are very similar in okay, actually maybe them should be a bit lower. Oh yeah, I mean, through this series so far, I've been quite high rating my films, but I loved them.
I don't remember my ratings for the first two. I probably jumped up massively.
I love the movies, so it's all good. And with that, I think that wraps up the episode.
So we'll see you next time for a movie, which is, do we know yet?
Enemy. 2013's Enemy.
2013's Enemy, featuring Jake Gyllenhaal from Spider-Man.
Wow.
That's the first thing I saw him in. Sorry.
Now, buzz off.
Buzz off.
Buzz off. You there. If you want to contact us, you can at screenbugspodcast@gmail.com. You can send us messages, or even, if you're feeling dangerous, you can request a film, and we might just review it.
You know what's even better, Kai?
What?
Well, you can find us on Instagram at ScreenBugs Podcast, or on Twitter /X at ScreenBugs. I'll see you there, and I better see you there.
We know.